Let the speculation begin, man. After Saturday night's Collision, FTR lost the AEW Tag Team Championships to Big Bill and Ricky Starks, and speculation online on social media is that FTR is set to leave AEW and join CM Punk in WWE. Man, does that sound ridiculous. Does it sound ridiculous to you guys? It certainly sounds ridiculous to me. I got the latest on FTR and the status of their AEW contracts right here in today's news. Also, Bobby Lashley may be set to add a new name to his new Hurt business along with the Street Profits, and I actually kind of like it. And no, it's not Jade Cargill. And Toni Storm may be adding a brand new stable to AEW television by adding one of the hottest women free agents in the industry. We got all this plus so much more right here on Off the Script. But let's start with FTR, man. They are no longer the AEW Tag Team Champions. They lost the titles to Big Bill and Ricky Starks on Saturday Night Collision. FTR, in this match, it was all Dax. Cash did not take a lick of offense. Now, considering the nature of the match in which FTR lost in 5 minutes, if you can believe that or not, FTR lost the match in less than 5 minutes. CM Punk is gone from the company. You kind of look at that and think, man, oh man, is that their exit from the company? It's a little bizarre that FTR went 5 minutes, but the reality of the situation is, and fans don't really think, Cash Wheeler may be hurt, and a lot of fans are wondering what the hell happened on Saturday night. FTR is signed through 2027. So right now, contractually, they ain't going anywhere, and Fightful's reporting that they were told things have been fine between AEW and FTR as of late. Who knows if they were a little rattled by the release of CM Punk, and they took that offensively, man. Nobody knows. Now, originally, FTR and the Young Bucks were slated for Full Gear in November. That doesn't seem to be happening, thank God. I could not take a match number 4 with those two teams. I mean, it's just overhyped, and it wasn't even as good as everybody made it out to be at All In London. Now, there were some ears that perked up, says Fightful, because Dax trademarked the CM-FTR name, which you know is the trio's name for CM Punk and FTR, but several sources pointed out that FTR could use the name outside AEW. Where does outside AEW mean? It could mean anywhere. Or in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's outside AEW. They could also use it in WWE if they wanted to. FTR have been on top of their trademarks since leaving WWE many years ago. So there's been speculation that Cash, let's get back to the injury, that Cash is injured, and it happened at WrestleDream in the match with Aussie Open. He sold his ribs, and they even cut a pre-match promo on the Collision show Saturday night at the top of the hour, where they were basically saying that they're hurt and they're going into this tag team title match with Starks and Big Bill a little banged up. Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer said that, yes, Cash is injured. That's what it appears to be. The story is that Cash is injured. The story they told on television was it was at the pay-per-view when Aussie Open beat them up in their match. They sold it like he was injured, and his ribs were the story. I don't know how long FTR is going to be out of action, says Brian Alvarez. So as far as we are concerned, FTR is not going anywhere. They're banged up. They're hurt. They're taking time off. They could absolutely use a little bit of time off. They've been going so hard since they re-signed with AEW. They were given the tag team titles, and they've been nonstop ever since. Having open challenges every week isn't going to help the matter either. You're eventually going to continue to break your body down and get injured. It's just the nature of the story here. Fans are speculating online, well, they lost in 5 minutes. Cash didn't take any offense. Dax got beat up. They lost the tag team titles. And now the Young Bucks FTR 4 is not happening at Full Gear. How does this mean that they're going back to WWE to join CM Punk in WWE? First of all, CM Punk isn't even going back to WWE at this time. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. He's not there yet. So why are you making speculation online that they're jumping ship? First of all, why would they even want to go back there? What have they done to rectify any tag team division in WWE? What are they going there for? The only reason why they would go there is to get a tag team match with the Usos, and the Usos aren't even a fucking tag team. right now. Why are you going back there? I don't know, man. Fans are crazy. Fans are really, really, really crazy. I don't see them going anywhere. I don't see Tony Khan letting them out of their contract. I don't know why they would be unhappy with the way things happened in AEW. I mean, FTR have been given everything since stepping foot in AEW. There's no reason for them to want to leave unless they are really, really upset about Tony Khan taking care of business and firing CM Punk because he needed to. I think at the end of the day, they probably understand and they know that their friend has a short fuse. So I don't really see what's going on here. Dax had to go on social media because fans were running wild with this thing. He said, "Top guys out. Thank you. We'll see you soon." Fans were like, "What does that mean? What does that mean? Are they going to WWE? AEW set to lose more talent." I don't really understand you people, man. I really don't. Then Dax had to come out in the follow-up tweet. "Guys, I say top guys out all the time. Watch the fucking show." It's ridiculous, man. They ain't going anywhere. Cash is hurt. There's a team that could use a vacation. It's FTR, man. They didn't get to where they are by wrestling a sissy style. They go in there and they have bangers every week. They want to wrestle. This is what they're known for. Have them rest up, come back. They'll be back on AEW television when they are ready to go. What they do is another story, but Ricky Starks and Big Bill are your tag team champions. Let's leave it at that. That's another story in itself. Man, AEW's really trying to make Ricky Starks happy, man. I think the rumor mill is getting to Tony Khan because you know he doesn't want to lose Ricky Starks to WWE after what WWE did to Jade Cargill to introduce her to the WWE universe, man. We'll see what happens, but Ricky Starks and Big Bill are your new tag team champions for now. A new name may be added to Bobby Lashley's group. I'm going to call them the Hurt Business for now because that's what the going rumor is. They're the new Hurt Business. Lashley wrestled his first match in over a month on SmackDown, and there have been discussions about adding some reinforcements to the group. This summer, Bobby Lashley added the Street Profits to this new Hurt Business, with Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins changing their personas and approach. Fightful Select learned that they aren't the only talent that has been discussed for this new faction, as Odyssey Jones. Who? Oh, the guy from NXT that they called up and did nothing with. Odyssey Jones. Who? I can't help you after that, man. I don't know what else to tell you about Odyssey Jones, but apparently they are thinking about adding Odyssey Jones to this new group with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Now, Odyssey Jones hasn't wrestled in nearly a month since India's Superstar Spectacle. That doesn't count to me. I don't really give a fuck what happened over there. He hasn't wrestled on the main roster since his call-up from NXT. Let's call it like it is. But completely vanished from WWE TV after being drafted to Raw earlier this year. However, he's worked a number of dark matches on SmackDown, and he's gotten some work in since April, just not on TV. I know a lot of people probably expecting me to shit on this move, but in fact, I'm not. I'm going to pull a nice little surprise out for you guys. I actually like this move. I think it fits the group. I think Odyssey Jones, the way that he was presented on NXT was very blue-collar, babyface, kind of forced. He was too smiley. They tried to, and this is just my POV on the situation, they tried to really make him and mold him into, hey, man, we may have the next Mark Henry here. Now, Mark Henry was great. I mean, Hall of Pain Mark Henry was fucking fantastic. You're not going to be able to duplicate that with Odyssey fucking Jones. You're not. From what I saw of Odyssey Jones, green as grass, but he had a great look. He's big, and he can move around well for a big guy. You put a suit on him, you give him some fucking attitude, you give him the tutelage and the knowledge of Bobby Lashley, and you put him in this new Hurt Business along with the Street Profits and Lashley. I think it could be a career-defining move for Odyssey Jones. What are we doing here? You called him up. First of all, you signed him. You had high hopes for him. He got hurt. The injury derailed him. Now you brought him back to television to do nothing with him. Why are you wasting money paying this guy when you could figure out something for him to do on television? I think that would be fucking fantastic if you get him on television and you put him in this group. I think he could use a complete makeover, and this may be the makeover that he needs. Another reason why I like this move is because from what I see, the Street Profits are nothing more than cronies to Bobby Lashley. You don't want to make the Street Profits into basically beat-up dummies for Bobby Lashley, taking losses. So if Odyssey Jones can get in there, he could serve to be backup and a bodyguard to the Street Profits while also making Bobby Lashley look good because he's that big guy that's going to protect the group. And he could be, at times, I'm not saying all the time, the fall guy when they need to get in there and do business. And at the same time, they will help him enhance his overall image and get his name out there in front of the WWE fans. I like this move. I like this move. A lot of people are like, oh, I add Jade Cargill to the group. Oh, I add Bianca Belair to the group, being that she's married to Montez Ford. No, I'm sorry. None of that's going to happen. WWE's not going to add Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is going to be the biggest star in that entire group, and then she's going to take away from everybody else that's already in the group. You don't want to do that. Odyssey Jones and adding somebody like Odyssey Jones to feed off the star power of all three guys is the way to go. I like the move. We'll see if WWE actually does that over the next coming weeks. And Toni Storm. This is the last story that we'll end with, man. Everybody's loving this new Toni Storm gimmick. Timeless Toni Storm. Finally, AEW has created something in this division, their women's division on television, that has some legs to go the distance. Now, with Toni Storm, she's obviously getting her feet wet. She's telling this story, fleshing out this character, and clearly you see that the direction is headed towards feuding with Saraya over the Women's Championship and getting back at her old group, the Outcasts. Now, she's expected to start a new group. I don't know what the name of the group is going to be, but one of the names being potentially added to this group is Mariah May, who is set to join AEW. If you want to go take a look at Mariah May's work, she works in Stardom or has worked in Stardom. And from what I gather, she's incredibly built. A lot of people like her look. That's all I'll say. She is very good at what she does. She's a standout, and she's highly sought after. And she works a nice style, being that she's coming from Stardom. So that is attractive in itself. The thing that I get with Mariah May is I look at what WWE's doing with Tiffany Stratton, man. Almost, I don't want to say it's the same style, but it's almost like the same look. Right, so, there's some similarities there in what WWE's doing with Tiffany Stratton. That's just my point of view because I don't really know much about Mariah May. I've seen her, and I've seen some clips of her work, but if she's joining AEW, obviously I will get a grand spectrum of what she is about. But she is expected to join AEW very, very soon, and she was supposed to happen, or this was supposed to happen, rather, at WrestleDream. She was supposed to make her debut at WrestleDream. She wasn't on the show, but it is believed that she's headed to AEW eventually. Now, her status was addressed by Dave Meltzer in the latest Observer newsletter. There was a lot of talk she would be going to Seattle, but she actually flew back home to the UK. She's expected in AEW, possibly being a part of a group with Toni Storm, and that's what Meltzer says in the Observer. Now, following her loss on the final night of her event in Stardom, she lost, and she previously told Stardom that she would eventually return. Now, regarding May possibly being involved in a group with Toni Storm, her character has taken an interesting turn since losing the AEW Women's title. Storm calls herself Timeless Toni Storm during a Portrait of a Star segment that aired on AEW Dynamite this week. She defeated Sky Blue in a segment that averaged a nice little chunk. People are really digging Toni Storm, about 800,000 people. And half of that was the 18 to 49 demographic. So a lot of people are looking at Toni Storm and they're really liking the work that she's doing. And Tony Khan now wants to enhance that by maybe building a group around her and adding Mariah May to the group. I like this. I like that. And what the division needs, definitely and sorely, is direction and a character that the fans can latch onto to generate any type of buzz about what's happening in that division. And I think if you go all in with Toni Storm, who's done fantastic work, and you show everybody that you do care about women's wrestling and you care about the hardest working woman in that division right now who's trying to get herself over with a brand new gimmick that nobody knew would work, I think that's the way to go. So I like that, man. And if there's any type of story being built there, it's Toni Storm getting back at Saraya and trying to get back that women's championship. I like it. And a great introduction from Mariah May. If you don't know who she is, or if the fans don't know who she is, pairing her with Toni Storm may instantly give her the star power that she needs here in the States And if you're putting her on television, a lot of people are going to recognize her immediately if she's paired with Toni Storm. I like that. I think this is a great move, so we'll see what happens there. It's supposed to be happening between now and Full Gear. So if it happens, you heard it here first, man. You heard it here from Dave Meltzer. Mariah may be joining Toni Storm in a brand new stable set to debut on AEW television. Thank you guys very much for all your support. If you enjoyed the video today, man, please hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. And make sure you go out and check all the other content on the channel. There is plenty of it, including last night's WWE Fastlane post-show, where I was live in front of 2,600 people last night. Thank you guys for all the support. If you missed anything from the Fastlane review and anything else on the channel last week, make sure you guys go and check that out. It's all on the homepage. Remember, guys, as well, hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes. And if there is any more news, I will have it for you right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.